this room. Let it all go, let it all go. No submission, this is 250. Greatness or death, this is how we roll. Before I'm laid to rest, I'll conquer the globe.
Yo, Michael T. Porter here. Welcome to the 250 Gemstones Culture channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. I got a bomb episode for y'all, but before we begin, y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. Pass me around. Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media platforms, and y'all know how I feel about my chizzing. If you guys like to support the channel, Cash App $Michael US. Once again, Cash App $Michael US. Also check out my website 250gemstones.com.co. Also check out my Spotify podcast, man. Link is in the description. Let's go. I got a story for y'all. Oh my God. A quick pretense, right? There's a lot of people in this world who just don't give a damn about human beings, who don't give a damn about the overall agenda of human beings: love, kindness, mercy, compassion, strength, progression, doing things the right way, helping one another so we can all reach greatness. Just some evil bastards. A lot of these evil bastards are supervisors and managers. This is a tale of how a supervisor got exposed when met with brute force. I was at a warehouse talking to my homie Fred. We just pulled up, and I said, "How you doing, Fred?" Fred said, "What's up, nigga? We just vibing." It was me, Fred, and two other guys. So I said hi to Fred first. Fred greeted me, and I said, "What's up" to the other guys, and we was just chilling because we usually have a briefing before we start the shift. So as we are walking towards the center of the department where we have our briefing, here comes Captain Jackass, aka our supervisor, Jack Miller. Jack Miller was you can tell that this job is all he got going for himself in his life, right? You can just tell that Jack Miller, he's black, by the way. Jack Miller is one of them type of guys that's just out of touch with reality, right? We all know, even if you're a supervisor or manager, this job ain't paying a nigga enough to really live life. I'm talking about traveling, buying your a woman maybe a nice little bracelet, or at least some Coach sandals, some Burberry perfume. I mean, to really live life. This job ain't hitting like that, but this is all he got going. So he always walk around with this demeanor. He's walking around with this demeanor like he's big cheese, right? He's walking around like he's the big shark in a small pond. That's really what it is, because we ain't nobody. We ain't nobody that the news media want to put their cameras on. We are nobody to be up in arms over. But in his mind, this job is everything. He comes in with this bravado. Come on, y'all, bring it in. Today's agenda, blah, blah, blah. I tune his ass out. Every time that nigga talk, I just tune his ass out. Something wrong with Jack. I'm looking at Fred looking at me. We just rolled our eyes like, come on, nigga, get this shit over with. But he pretty much, during the briefing, pretty much our goals for the production, our goals for our shift, the overall goal for the company, and things of that sort. Pretty much goal orientated and safety overview. So after he got that out the way, I just can't wait to get back to my goddamn machine, because this is sounding this nigga voice. He just be on everybody's ass, snooping, talking to people, but he don't talk to me crazy because I already set the tone. He don't talk to Fred crazy, but he's a bully. He is a bully. Jack Miller, I believe he's from Omaha, Nebraska. I didn't even know Omaha, Nebraska had black folk. I'm from Sacramento. I'm a Sacramento nigga, right? I am a Sacramento nigga, but I New Orleans, my second home. New Orleans is my second home, baby. My daddy from the Magnolia Project. My mama out there from LA. Then we moved up there to Sacramento. And bam, I made a name for my mother effing self in Dallas. But that's neither here or there. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was from Omaha, Nebraska. And I heard Omaha, Nebraska is pretty much off the chain. Side note, any particular region where there's a whole bunch of us black folks, a whole bunch of, if it's like more than like 100 in one area, it's going to be some funk. It's going to be some dangers. There's something wrong with us. But I didn't know Omaha was cracking like that. So he's from Omaha. And now I'm hearing that his wife left him for his brother. That's what that's just a rumor. That's just a rumor. Now I don't like to spread. I didn't spread the rumor. Because by the time it got to me, everybody else knows. So even if I did tell, the only person I really talked to, I talked to a handful of people, because you know how them coworkers be up there, mailing on your bin. You tell them one thing and then they flip it for their personal gain and trying to make you look like a jackass. But back to Jack Miller. Jack Miller is a bully, but he knows who's to mess with. There's this lady, little Latina lady. She work in the back, and everybody knows that she has a sick kid. You think Jack Miller care about that sick kid? You think Jack Miller care about them sick kids? She'd be late sometime because the way the schedule is, her kid, she only has a 30 to 45 minute window to go get her kid from where she needs to pick him up and drop him off at, and then make it to work. So she's on the move. Everybody knows because she has pictures of her kid, and he knows this too. He don't give a goddamn. So you only get so many points. You get a point system. You get a goddamn point system. I think she was at 6 points. So that's when you start getting your write-ups. They really start cracking down about your attendance. And she's like, she was out there because we have another lady named what was her name? What was her name? I'm trying to think of her name. Glenda, older lady. Now Glenda is probably the nosiest woman you ever want to meet. But her nosiness has put everybody up on game, because when Cynthia was in the office, they were going over her paperwork, letting her know that, you keep coming up in here late. We don't give a damn about your sick kid. You won't get up out of here. So Glenda's overhearing. She said Glenda was telling everybody how Cynthia was crying because it's really all Cynthia had. And to be honest, they can be a little bit nicer to people. They can swing it. I mean, if they know you have a problem, but this company just didn't give a damn. Jack didn't give a damn. This company didn't give a damn. And she couldn't call. See, the thing is, she couldn't call off, use her FMLA or anything, because she needed more money to come in. The expenses were through the roof. Now, I don't know if the husband was in the house. Like I said, I don't talk to much people, but I don't know if the husband's in the house. But Cynthia got a lot going on. They wouldn't work with her. She kept tallying up. And Jack, it looked like Jack was excited about her getting closer to being terminated. That's a sick bastard. So he's hounding her. The day goes on. The next day, Cynthia she was late again. I was like, man, she running them back to back. I was like, maybe it's best that she's getting another job. But this would piss everybody off. The second time she was late, it was the very next day, and we did the briefing, but right before, how you say, okay, we're done with the briefing, everybody go to their stations. As soon as he said that, Jack Miller said, okay, everybody go to their stations. So everybody about to go to their stations. He said, Cynthia, come on to my office. But the way he said it, you ain't got to talk to nobody like that. He said, hey, Cynthia, come on to my office. And everybody, because, like I said, everybody knew what was going on. Like, damn, she about to get another one. He said, come on in here. She was like, okay. She kind of had her head there. Like, come on, can you hurry up a little bit? Come on, we got production to get to. Said, come on in here. And he dragged her in there, wrote up 7 times. He said 2 more, you out of here. See, Glenda, she's always around that damn office. Glenda said it. She said 2 more. Glenda said the way he was talking to her, he didn't cuss her out or anything. He's trying to be like dominant. You need to be here. You need to be here, and you need to be on time. And we can't have this. We have goals to meet. We have quotas to meet. This is unacceptable because there's people out there that's willing to show up on time, and you taking up their space. And when Glenda was telling us what he was saying to this woman, I was like, have this nigga lost his mind? Ain't nobody rushing to come up in this bitch. Ain't nobody rushing to come up in here. Ain't nobody rushing to come up in here. They got the vents are dirty. They haven't changed the filters in God knows how long. You can literally see the dust falling off the vents. I don't know the last time OSHA been up in here. The health department, he said there's people dying and coming up in here, and Miss Cynthia is taking up their spot with her shenanigans, with her being tardy. I say, had this nigga lost his mind? Ain't nobody coming up in here. Yeah, people putting in their abs, but they get a few checks and get the fuck. So Miss Cynthia is, walking on eggshells, and Cynthia, the rest of her day, she just looks so crushed. Got this nigga yelling at her on top of her sick kid. The medical expense. I think he had a I think he was leaning on. He was dependent on some type of medical device. I think he needed a new one, so that's why she couldn't quit, because she needed the money. FMLA, I don't think it pays that much, or FMLA, you get like a small percentage. She's trying to draw from her PTO. She drew up everything. All the benefits that the company has, she was drawing it up. So she needed the income. She couldn't take, like I said, she couldn't take the FMLA, and I think he needed medicine and subscription medication. I'm sorry, I think he needed his medical device, a new medical device, and subscription pills, to keep him going, and he didn't give a damn. So she got all that to worry about her sick boy. This nigga down her neck. Then she got to worry about finding another job. That is stressful in itself. So I'm looking at. So I went over there. I said, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Just, find a way to make it happen. Handle your business. Everybody's, Cynthia looked like she's about to cry because she didn't know what to do. I don't think she had a man in there. Like I said earlier, I don't know if she did or not, but I'm pretty sure it looked like she was on her own. And I was like, man, I don't know. I've never been the type of man to play with somebody like that. When I see kick somebody when they down. But this nigga Jack Miller, he didn't give a damn. Jack Miller did not give a damn. So time went on. Cynthia eventually got fired, and that was the turning point of the culture in the warehouse. At least that we thought. We knew all the complications she was going through. She had a lot of stuff going on, and this man showed absolutely no empathy, no sympathy towards Cynthia. And she's a woman too. A woman with children. This, like I said, my perception of the word is, oh, Michael, you so harsh. Oh, Michael, you just don't give a damn because I have to be this way most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. You got some mofos walking around here just literally trying to push off this bad energy. So we thought this was a turning point of the culture, because everybody's mood just changed when they fired Cynthia, because everybody knew they don't give a damn. We in a place where they literally don't give a damn. Things haven't been the same. So about 3 weeks, I want to say 3 weeks to a month, things were, like I said, things will never have been the same after what they did to Cynthia. But things, people's, life goes on. But people's eyes are still open about the company, about who to talk to and who not to talk to. Cutthroat up in there. At least we thought we knew what cutthroat was. There were 4 new hires. Jack Miller have gotten rid of not only Cynthia, but a few people quit, and he put boots in some other co-workers' asses, so they had to get up out of there. So they had some vacant spots that need to be filled. And boy, were they filled. 4 white guys came in. It was 4 of them. It was 4 white guys, but these weren't your typical white boys. These weren't your typical white guys. These white guys had a certain darkness. They were all pretty tall. I'm about 6'3", so they're all about at least 6 foot. Well, 3 of them were 6 foot, but then the tallest one, he was about 6'8". 6'8". These are tall white boys. But the way they moved, the way they swag was just different. We're in the warehouse, so they dressed a little bit nicer than everybody else. They had their jeans. The jeans were always crisp. They had their little boots. But it was something about these guys that wasn't right. It was something about them. So they did their orientation. Not Now I'm watching. I haven't met them yet. Me and Fred looking like, oh yeah, they ain't gonna last. They ain't gonna last here long. You know, we just saying like you could tell somebody, well, their demeanor, they were so cool. You know, usually if a person's upbeat and they're excited about the job, oh yeah, they're gonna be here a long time. But if they come in here laxy daisy, nonchalant, you could tell this is just a job for them. So they came in here like, you know, nonchalant, this is just a job. And Jack Miller, he was showing them all the machines. Now, the first four, you know, they're being introduced to everybody, but then there was another one that came in. There was another one that came in. Me and Fred looking like, damn, there's a lot of white boys coming up in here. What the hell they got going on? What the hell they got going on? This Fred, I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of white boys up in here. But they don't look like American white boys. They don't look like they from Cincinnati. They don't look like they from Boston. They don't look like they from Colorado. They don't look like they from Dakota. They look like, I don't know. There's just something about these white boys. Three out of the four had a gruesome look on their face. But they were real respectful. The first four and the fifth one, they were all respectful. All respectful. Mind their business. They were all respectful. They're going through their orientation. But the fifth one came in and he had the most menacing stare. Now, the fifth one, all the other ones were pretty medium-sized builder, pretty lean. But the fifth one, he was real stocky. He was also tall. He's about 6'6". But he was stocky, like he been lifting weights. So I'm like, okay, maybe they part of I don't know, maybe they do sports on the side, I don't know. So they going through their orientation. And the first four were with Jack Miller, and the fifth one, he was with another manager. So we went to break. We all went to break. So as we at break, me and Fred, we chilling. Two other guys I talked to. Like I said, I don't talk to a whole bunch of folks out there. So we're on break and we just chilling, eating, shooting the shit. So the first four that was with Jack Miller, the jackass. A lot of people call him Jackass Miller. Jackass Miller, the supervisor. He showed them where the break one was, and they came up in there. So everybody's being nice. Hey, how you guys doing? You know, welcome them in. You know, making it a friendly environment. This is how I knew they were different. We knew something was different. They had an accent, and they said thank you. And I was like, oh wait, what they from Ukraine, Russia? So one of them sat by us. You know, the break room ain't so big, so it was about 3 seats over. I want to say that we're at the table. I say they're about a table over. Like me and Fred at a table. They were sitting at the next table. Yeah, they were sitting at the next table. So the four Russian guys were sitting at the table. But I just wanted to make sure what country they're from. And he said, good afternoon, sir. And the other guy said, good afternoon. And I was like, oh man, they chill. I said, not to be offensive, but what country are you guys from? He said, Mother to Russia. I said, oh shit. Oh yeah. He said, Mother to Russia. They all kept saying it, Mother to Russia. I said, oh, cool. Fred antennas went up about these guys, though. Fred, I don't know what came over Fred. You know, Fred a little bit more spiritual than I am. Fred is a little bit more spiritual than I am. So they say hi to Fred. Fred said, what's up? Fred extended his hand, gave him a handshake. And he said, cool, Russia. He said, well, we welcome you guys. I told him we welcome you guys, you know. Cool job, is laid back. And it was the first guy, Vladimir. The second guy was Victor. The third guy, Steve. The fifth guy, Jason. And then so we met them. And the fifth one came in. The stocky one. The one he been lifting weights since he was about 6 months. 6 months old. This man was massive. He wasn't like a fat, I say he was about 6'6", 240, but he was just solid muscles. I'm like, damn, this dude must been working out. His name was Sasha. Sasha was the fifth one. Vladimir, Victor, Steve, Jason, and Sasha. But when Sasha came in, Sasha walked like he was the boss. Sasha walked in like he ran the plane. He walked in and people waved to him. Hey, he said, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone." And he came over to where his homeboy, the other Russian guys were. He said, "Sasha, Sasha, Mother Russia, Mother Russia." They're like, "Oh, these okay, okay." They throwing their shit up as you supposed to represent where you lay your head at. Represent where you're from. Represent where you from. Sasha. So it was apparent that Sasha was like the big dog over here. So ain't none of our business. We cooling. So time went on and everybody was really fond of the Russians, but we still working at this sorry ass job with this sorry ass management. Sorry ass management. There was no phones were allowed on the production floor. There was absolutely no phones. You can have it in your pocket, but you can't have it out because for safety reasons or for whatever reason, you can't have the damn phone out. Stupid ass rules, right? Stupid ass rules as usual, but you couldn't have any phones out. So this particular day, Fred was training Sasha, the big one. Fred was terrified of Sasha. I'm gonna be honest. Fred was terrified of Sasha as he should be, because the dude was just solid. The dude was just solid, and he just had a menacing stare. But he just had a menacing face. 3 out of the 5 just had menacing face. The other 2 has that regular face. But you could tell something was different with these dudes, right? Something was different. Like, and it was intriguing to everybody. There's something that's different about these dudes, but they were just so cool. So Fred was over there with Sasha, showing him how to work the machine. And Sasha was always polite. Sasha said, "Good morning, Fred. Good morning." And Fred said, "What's up, man? What's up?" And it was just cool. Fred showed him everything, but Sasha pulled out his phone. Remember, Sasha, 6'6", 240 pounds. Sasha pulled out his phone, and Jack Ass Miller caught him with the phone. So Sasha had the phone, and his I don't know who was calling him. Fred said he didn't want to know, because as Fred got close, see, the first day they all had long sleeve, and it started getting a little bit warmer. So we're coming. It was springtime, so getting a little warmer. So this day they had short sleeves. 3 of them had short sleeve. Vladimir, Victor, and Sasha had short sleeve, and they had all these tattoos. They had all these tattoos. So Fred was looking at the tattoos and said, "Okay, there's a lot of tombstones. There's a lot of creepy stuff, like the murals that was on his arms. Like he never seen these type of designs before, but he knew what the cross meant. One had the Virgin Mary, the other one had a spider." The other one, they had all these different type of tattoos that we're not familiar with in America. Like these something is up with these guys. So Sasha had the phone on. Jackson said, so Jack Miller, the supervisor, was behind Sasha, but Fred saw Jack, and Jack waved his finger to Fred like, "Don't tell Sasha nothing. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna talk to him." See, Jack thought he was a badass until Sasha turned around. See, the way Fred was telling me, looking like Jack was going to lay down the law. But Sasha was never violent. So I'm going to show you how it went down. He said Jack tapped Sasha on the back. Excuse me. And Sasha turned around. And he said, "Yes, sir. How was your day?" And the way Sasha looked at Jack, Fred said the way he said Sasha was so respectful. And Sasha set the phone out. He said, "Good morning, sir. How was your day?" And the way he was looking at Jack, like, "Jack, if you say anything else other than 'my day is good, how about yours?'" Sasha looked at him like he was about to pounce on him like a wild Siberian tiger. Fred said Sasha looked at Jack like his look pierced through his soul. Like say something, I'll slap the shit out you. You say anything else. But his demeanor was so cool, and he talked to Jack like a man. Super respectful. But his eyes were piercing through Jack. He said Jack wasn't coming with that same energy around Sasha. Jack was not coming around that same energy like he was with Cynthia. See, we all know. See, all the Russians, they didn't know what had taken place before they just came. How Jack was handling Cynthia. How he was just handling Cynthia. Sasha got his phone in hand. Once again, good morning, sir. How are you? And Jack said, well, I appreciate you working hard, but I just want to let you know. You got to remember, Jack is only about 5'9", 5'10". Sasha's 6'6", towering over this guy. Got quite a few inches on him. So he said, Jack's telling Sasha, this is our policy. We can't have phones out for safety reasons. These phones cause a lot of distractions. I appreciate it if you put it up. Sasha looked at Jack like Fred didn't know what to do because it looked like, because every time Sasha talked, his bicep, he has one big vein on his bicep and he has veins on his neck. He have a few veins on the side of his head. And like I said, he was saying Sasha looked like he's very intimidating, but he's still respectful. He said, no problem. No phone on the floor. I can respect that. You got to respect the rules. And when Fred saw that and Jack saw that, Sasha put up the phone. Sasha put up the phone only until Jack left and he pulled that bitch right back out. I said, what, Fred? He said Sasha pulled that bitch right back out. Sasha pulled it right back out. He said, I understand we got to follow the rules, but most rules are made to be broken. He said, you understand that? He said, as a man, you got to create your own destiny. Fred said, what? He said, that's dope. See, remember, in the beginning, Fred was terrified of Sasha. All the tattoos he saw, something was still triggering Fred, but these words of innovation, he never heard a man talk to him like this. Now, Sasha had to have been in his early 40s. The other guys, I say the age range from late 20s to mid 40s, all different age groups. But they had a tight bond. I don't know if they were brothers, I don't know if they were cousins, just good friends. Like I said, as more we got to know these guys, the more intriguing these guys became. Sasha pulled that bitch right back out, y'all. He pulled that phone right back out. Fred said, yeah. He said, as soon as Jack Miller turned his back, Sasha pulled out the phone and he told me I got to create my own destiny. He said, my life is in my hands. I said, what? What? Everything was going good. The Russians, their mothers are bakers. So every now and again, during this time frame, they have been there about 2 or 3 weeks. The machines are easy to learn, so they caught on real quick. But once or twice out the work week, we work 5 or 6 days. We do overtime, we do 6 days, but twice or 3 times a week, their mothers are bakers. And they would sometimes bring cakes up there. They bring pastries, Russian style pastry. Their shit was amazing. I think because they use real ingredients, unlike this nasty ass food we eat in America. That's neither here or there. But them goddamn Russian pies and cakes were good. They were real good. Another day came around and Sasha had the phone out again. So Sasha's out of training now. But Jack Miller rose up on Sasha. This time he had the phone all the way out. The first time he had a little bit out, but this time he had it all the way out, and everybody can see. Everybody can see Sasha on this damn phone. And like I said, he's on his own now, but Fred was still in the vicinity. Because we all work close to each other, and Fred got the scoop. Jack Miller looked like he didn't want to walk up on Sasha, but he had no choice because everybody on the floor was watching. Once again, Sasha's head was down on his phone, but Jack was walking behind him. And God, what happened next, I couldn't believe. Everybody's looking. Everybody was looking. Jack Miller, also known as Jackass Miller, the supervisor that nobody can't stand. Everybody remembered how he handled Cynthia. Now everybody's anticipating how is he going to handle Sasha, 6'6", 240 pounds. sheer muscle with a menacing stare, tatted up, very respectful, but very menacing stares. Very menacing stare. Everybody want to see how you gonna handle this big joker. How are you gonna handle Mother Russia? Everybody looking. I'm looking. I almost stumbled over the mop bucket because I was staring so hard. Machines are going off because you know the machines, man, suddenly beep, beep, beep. They start flashing, man. I was like, man, fuck that flash. I'm trying to see what Jack Miller's going to do about Sasha on that phone. Sasha's on that phone again. So, like I said, Fred was closer to Sasha, but everybody can see what's going on. So, Jack looking scared now. Oh, punk ass Jack looking scared. But he got to handle his business because Jack put himself in a position to where if he doesn't correct Sasha and then the rest of the Russian brothers, everybody, he would lose all respect because the first thing they're gonna say, you didn't handle Sasha like that. So he went up to Sasha again. And the anticipation, because I honestly was thinking that Sasha was going to backhand his punk ass, right? I'm honestly thinking that Sasha was going to put them biceps on that man's jaw. I thought he was going to put this man in a headlock, give him a couple of noogies, and then pimp slap him a couple times to get his mind right. Honestly, not only was I expecting, I was kind of hoping for it. I was because that's what Jack needs. He needs somebody that has that match his energy. And boy, did Sasha have the energy. He said, like I say, he didn't approach Sasha like he approached Cynthia. He said, excuse me, Sasha. Now this time Sasha had the phone in his hand and he said, good morning, sir. How are you? And Sasha staring at him again, piercing through his soul. He said, like, you know, when people are scared or they uncomfortable, they start fidgeting with their clothes. Jack Miller was like, I expressed to you last time that the rules are that we can't have cell phones on the floor and you have the cell phone out again. And he said, no problem. I put the phone up. I respect rules. Rules are very important in the workplace. I put it up. But here's the thing. Sasha put it up, but the first time was a verbal. Everybody know once you get caught with the cell phone twice, it's supposed to be a write-up. He's supposed to be dragging Sasha in that office. He was supposed to be dragging Sasha in that office, but everybody know that Sasha wasn't going in that office. Sasha was not going in that office, but he did put the phone up out of respect. Out of respect, Sasha realized that he's a supervisor. He has a business to run. They're really business oriented. They are very business oriented. He put the phone up. Like I said, he said, sorry, I respect the rules. I put the phone up. I put the phone up. He put the phone up, but he didn't get that right up. Because everybody knew if he even raised his voice to Sasha, and Sasha was staring at him the whole time. Sasha stared at Jack's ass, not his ass, but he stared at Jack until he left his work area. So he put the phone up, because as he never looked down at his pockets. Sasha looked into Jack's eyes the whole time as he putting the phone up. He said, sorry again, sir. So he was staring at Jack. He never took his eyes off Jack until Jack turned his back. He never took his eyes off Jack Miller, the supervisor, until he walked off. He was just staring at him. Fred came back and everybody saw what happened. Everybody saw what happened. Sasha did not get that right up. Sasha did not get that right up. The word's going around town. Word's going around the facility that Jack Miller. I put it to you like this: word around town is that Sasha is a new supervisor, right? Sasha has taken over the damn department with the utmost respect. Never curse. He never acted like a damn buffoon. He's one of those type of men when you come across, you better get your mind right. There's zero tolerance, but he's very respectful because he wants that reciprocated. And best believe Jack Miller gave that respect. So it's going around the workplace that Sasha didn't get that right up. So everybody started pulling out their phones. Everybody started pulling out like Fred came to me and said, Mike, did you see that shit? I said, hell yeah. I said, nigga, everybody saw it. Sasha ain't getting no write up. I said, Sasha ain't getting no write up. I said, Jack, he's a dumbass. He may be a bully, but he ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. He know he's not to play with this man because, right up would ultimately lead to a termination. And Jack Miller didn't want no problems with this man. This is a tank. This is a force to be reckoned with. His energy, right? Sasha's energy, unmatched. No hooping and hollering, none of that. Mano y mano. People was making little jokes, like the older folks. They were saying, he said, our new supervisor, I never knew our supervisor would be from Russia. And Sasha, Vladimir, and Victor, they heard everybody joking. He said, I heard you say something about Russia. He said, no, I'm saying we didn't know that our new supervisor would be from Russia. Everybody in the back snicker. He said, the mother of the Russia, we have lots of talent. Lots of talent. He said, always remember, take control of your own destiny. Take control of your own destiny. I said, man, this is crazy. But there was still something about these guys. So now these guys has been here about going close to 2 months. And the phone, Sasha had the phone out again. This time Sasha was talking on the phone. Right? So, but he wasn't talking loud. He whispered. Like I said, he's always been respectful. I don't know if he was talking to his mom. I don't know what happened. And everybody was looking again. Jack Miller didn't know what to do. Because the third time, he's supposed to get a write-up, but the third time, you're supposed to get fired, right? He's supposed to get fired. So Jack, here comes the man that has lost all respect in the warehouse. Sasha has taken over the department without even lifting a finger. Really, without lifting an eyebrow. Just a dark, menacing look. His presence, his thought process, the way he walks. As I said, we assume that he was the leader of wherever they got going on. Jack Miller went up to Sasha a third time. He said, excuse me, Sasha. Sasha turned around again, still looking into his soul. His look never changed. And it looked like every time Jack kept coming up on him, the look got more darker and scary. So once again, Jack Miller fidgeting with his clothes. He said, good morning, sir. He said, how are you? And Jack said, I'm doing just fine, Sasha. I'm doing just fine. But we had this. This is the third time that we had this conversation. And now you're talking on the phone. He says, respectful. He said, as soon as I'm done with the call, I have to put the phone up because I respect the rules and the policies of the organization. Organization is very important. Organization, it must have the rules. People must follow the rules. I will hang up the phone after this conversation. Everybody heard Sasha. That was close in the area. Fred heard it. I heard it. This man just told the supervisor that I'm going to hang up the phone when I'm done talking to whoever the hell I'm talking to. I said, Fred, these niggas, these white boys are different. These white, and Vladimir, Victor, Steve, and Jason, they're all looking on. They're all nodding their head. He said, Mother of Russia. I said, damn, I was like, that's how y'all roll out there? Y'all got to remember, they coming from Russia, right? Their strength comes from the cold. A lot of them are poor, so they don't have a lot of blankets. So they are accustomed to not eating, being damn near frozen to death, facing the hardships and the dictatorship of what's going on out there in Russia. That's according to us. That's what I'm assuming. I never been out there, but it's brutal out there in Russia. That's the word on them streets. The military ain't playing around. A lot of people are poor. A lot of people, like us, just trying to get by. But to go, y'all think it's cold in Chicago? Y'all think it's cold in New York? Take your punk ass out there in Russia with a couple of blankets and some canned goods. These are the type of environments these boys are coming from. This man, Sasha, just told the supervisor when he feels like it. Pretty much what he's saying, when I feel like it. And Sasha never took his eyes off of Jack. Never took it. As a friend said, hey, there's another dude named Casey. Casey from New Orleans. Casey heard that shit. He said, oh, Casey is probably one of the messiest niggas you ever meet. Shout out New Orleans. Casey is probably one of the messiest niggas you'll ever meet. Casey called his folks back home in New Orleans. We out here in Dallas. He called his folks back in New Orleans. He said, "Hey man, these dudes from Russia, man. He said, Russia, you heard me." He said, "Man, these niggas is on some other shit." He just told the supervisor he gonna hang up. You heard me, when he feel like it. When he feel like it. He said, "I ain't never seen no shit like that." Can you imagine if a nigga did that, whoa? Can you imagine if I would have did that? You understand? Your dad, he said, "You understand if I would have did that?" Casey out that motherfucking AWOL. Can you imagine if I did that? I said, "Oh man, let me call you back. This is crazy. This is crazy." So Jack, everybody's waiting for Jack's response because this man just told you, I'm gonna hang up this damn phone and put the phone in my pocket when I'm done talking to who I talk to. So Jack said, just make sure you do it quickly. You know, we gotta quote us. He was stumbling and fumbling his words. Sasha single-handedly took over the department. So Jack took his punk ass on to where he needs to go, but everybody wanted to know what was up with these guys. So 2 days after that incident, after he got caught with the phone the third time, we were all in the break room, and he said it was one day, you know, they were all just laughing. They was having a good time. They brought us cakes and everything, just having a good time. And Sasha, Victor, Vladimir, Steve, and Jason, they all came in more calm than normal. And they were just in a good ass mood. Now, I've been around a lot of alcohol in my life, and let me just tell you right now, I can smell it. I can tell you right now, I can smell it. So, I can smell it. Them boys were drinking. Them boys were drinking before work, but ain't nothing. I'm not about to tell them nothing. I'm not about to tell, man, F this job. I'm not telling these niggas. I ain't telling what Sasha doing. I'm not telling them what Victor's doing. I'm not telling them what Steve is doing. I'm not telling them what Jason's doing. I'm not telling them nothing. Drink on. Just hope you don't hurt yourself out there on the production floor. But drink on. They bringing us cakes. Jack Miller, aka Jackass Miller, he ain't never brought us no cake. He ain't never brought us no muffins from Russia. He ain't never bought us no pastries. These boys come over here from the freezing cold with nothing, and they showed us more hospitality. Everybody was love. The energy that these men have, always respectful, never cuss. So I could tell they've been drinking before work, so they were just in a good mood. He said, like I said, we always said at the next table, we said, "Thank you, everybody's eating the muffins. Thank you, Mama Russia." Sasha and Vladimir, they were talking, but Victor, Steve, and Jason, they said, Michael and Frederick, he said, "Come in, I want to show you something." I said, me and Fred was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Oh, cool." He said, "I want to show you got this something." He said, "Come here." He said, "You two come outside." And so Sasha and Vladimir, they still talking, but like I said, Steve, Jason, and Victor, we all went outside. So it was me, Fred, Steve, Jason, and Victor. He said, "Let me show you they got this something." He said, "You guys have been very cool with us, very welcoming to me." He said, "I want to show to you, how they really get down in the Russia." He said, much. He said, very similar. He said there was much similarities to Russia and America, but there's a lot of differences. He said, "Let me show you." So he showed us the phone, these phones. I don't know what it is about people that live this lifestyle. They got to keep constantly telling everybody. I thought niggas was bad, but all gangsters got to tell people what they're doing. And I'm going to say gangsters because this is the day we found out what these Russian boys, these Russian guys, these Russian men, Sasha, Vladimir, Victor, Steve, and Jason, we finally figured out. We finally figured out what these boys were up to. And I kind of wish I didn't know. Victor, Steve, and Jason said, "Michael, Fred, come over here, let me show you." We and Fred went over to the phone. We thinking, they're going to show us some titties. Some hoes out there in Russia. Some Russian tits. Hey, black man running up in anything these days. We've been doing it. We the breeders in America. So ain't no thing. Me and Fred was like, come on, let's see what we got. We're about to see some Russian titties. Okay. Then we saw what these boys were into. Victor showed us over 4,000 AK-47s. Fred looked at me and I looked at Fred. He said that they said the month. He said Kalishnikova. He said automatic Kalishnikova. Steve and Jason in the background, they had the biggest smile on their face. They were like, keep looking. They kept giving us the head, and I keep looking. Said, automatic Kalishnikova. Automatic Kalishnikova for the seven. Fred, I said, after my Kalishnikova, they keep showing all these guys. I'm looking at Fred. That's a lot of AK-47s. He said, after my Kalishnikova, he said, we moving them around, moving them around everywhere that we go, around the world. He said, it's nothing. He said, it's nothing. He said, any the one you want. He said, it doesn't matter. You guys have been very friendly to us. He said, it doesn't matter. He said, the pick of one. We got the wood in the stock. We have ornament style, camouflage, different colors, 30 rounders, 50 rounders, 100 rounders, whatever you want. He said, it doesn't matter. Now, we cannot give it to these for free, but we do have to charge. But we will not charge you the full price like we charge everyone else. You guys have been very, really good to us. Very, really nice to us. And he kept scrolling. 4,000. I'm just estimating this man showed us over 4,000 AKs. That was just the AK-47s. Berettas. Pistols. I looked at I said, these guys might be the mob. I said, the goosebumps that was coming upon Fred's neck, on Fred's uncle. Like I said, we got sleeves. We had short sleeve. It was getting a little bit warmer. We had short sleeve, and you see all their tattoos. The tattoos, the guns, their lackadaisical. When you got around them, there was a sense of, they were respectful, but they had a sense of lawlessness. When they began to really open up to us, you can tell these men embrace death. When you got around them, after they showed us all those guns on them phones, after they showed us what was going on, that wasn't the ice. That wasn't everything. I'm just saying, as it began to open up, and you began to really look into their eyes, they embraced death. They didn't care about the law. That's why Sasha was handling him the way he did. They kept telling people to make their own destiny. Make your own destiny. They don't care about no damn law. They don't care about death. They don't care about none of that. They just care about whatever they got going on. They embraced it. The darkness that came over that area, because the realization hit me and Fred, these are Mafia members. I was looking at their tattoos, and Fred said, oh my, I think the birds were chirping, but thank God the birds were chirping loud, because I think Fred farted. I believe Fred farted, and I think he damn near shitted on himself once we found out who the hell we were talking to. He kept scrolling. Victor said, come look. He's very good. Kalishnikova. Every so often as Victor is scrolling, Steve and Jason kept saying Kalishnikova. So later on, I did the research. I kept saying, what does that mean? Automat Kalishnikova. Automat Kalishnikova was the person that came up with the design of the AK-47s in Russia. This is the man that came up with this design of the AK-47 in Russia. That was manufactured and designed in 1947. Automat Kalishnikova. Automat means automatic. Kalishnikova is the last name of the man who designed the goddamn gun. Automat Kalishnikova. They kept laughing. I said, oh my, these are Mafia men. I said, boy, get me up out of here. I didn't want to show them that my mood was changing. I didn't want to show them that I was scared. I didn't want to show them that I was cautious. So I just played it cool. But Fred, I had to calm Fred down. Then it showed under the drugs. It kept showing all the guns. It kept showing all their mansions, showing all their damn cars. These boys are hot. So Sasha and Vladimir, they come outside, and Sasha, He said, "What are you guys doing?" He said nothing, nothing, nothing. And he said, let me see, let me see. And he said he snatched the phone from Victor. He saw all the guns. He said, "You stupid motherfucker." And he said he cussed Victor out in their language. He said something like he done the Oscar division man something. Send him something. They were speaking that shit. And he said Sasha pulled me and Fred to the side. It was just 5 of them, 2 of us. And after Sasha scolded him a little bit, but Sasha was still kind of drunk, he said, "Michael and Fred, let me talk to you really quick. We just type of the men that take destiny into our own hands. We come from a place that lacked mercy." Every so often, the other 4 members would say Kalishnikova. He said, "We come from a place that doesn't have them, that's lack mercy, so that we have to take matters into our own hands. But I tell you, just keep this between us. We know, obviously, we are a little bit, how do you Americans say, tipsy. We are tipsy, so I'd appreciate it if we keep this to ourselves and pretend like this never happened." So as he was talking, Fred really started examining the tattoos, and he seen a SWAT sticker on a SWAT sticker with a lady. It was a lady with a SWAT sticker uniform, and it was a spider and a crucifixion of Christ. Fred didn't know. He was mad because he got the SWAT sticker. He's racist, but he's being nice. As Fred said that Fred didn't say much, but Sasha picked up on Fred's energy, and he caught Fred's eyes. You know that the gangsters, they really intuitive, they really on point. So he saw Fred looking at his swastika tattoo. He said, "Oh, do you see my tattoo?" He said, "Then let me tell you, when I got this tattoo, none of the words, when I got this tattoo, I was very ignorant. When I got this tattoo, but I tell you this, I have no problem with other people. We have the bigger fish to fry." And so when he said that, all the other 4 gang members, or whatever you want to call them, Kalishnikova, they kept laughing and kept saying Kalishnikova, because all the goddamn weaponry they selling it around the world. All right. He said, "I have no problem with other people, but you know, he said, I tell you what. Since you guys have been nice to us, you guys have been embraced us, you guys have been very respectful." He said, "I'll give you 30 cases of the finest vodka." He said, "Let me show you." This man had cases upon cases upon cases upon cases of vodka. Every vodka you can think of, they getting it for the low. They are, I don't know if they, hey, I ain't asked no questions. How are y'all getting this expensive ass vodka for these? He said, I said, shut up. I said, shut up, Fred. I said, shut up, Fred. He said, to the maker of the man, he said, "I give you 3 cases of the finest vodka your tongue has ever tasted." He said, "Come look." He said, choose 3. Choose 3. And he said, "No problem, no problem. I bring it to you." He said, "No problem." He said, like I said, he said, "I was very ignorant when I got this tattoo." He said, "But now," he said, "I'm much more matured." He said, "Pick 30 cases. You're free." Fred didn't know what to do, because this is a nice gesture, but you're taking something from one of the world's most dangerous men. You taking something from one of the world's most dangerous men. I'm looking at Fred. I said, "Fred, take them fucking cases." Fred said, "What?" I said, "Pick 3 cases, hurry up." I'm trying to tell this nigga, pick 3 cases, because these ain't the type of niggas you want to say no to. And this is how Sasha was bringing it. Sasha, the same menacing stare that he gave Jackass Miller, our supervisor, the same menacing stare he gave Jack Miller is the same stare he gave Fred. Like, if you don't take this vodka, you know, they're going to find your ass in the Trinity River. Trinity River is one of the most popular river out here in Dallas. And that's where Fred will be if he didn't take these goddamn vodka cases. So that's why I was playing it off. Take the cases. Stupid ass nigga. Pick 3. Pick 3. Pick 3 cases, hurry up. I kept telling Fred, pick 3 cases and hurry up, before they find your stupid ass in the trunk somewhere, bleeding out. So as he's looking at Fred, Sasha is staring at Fred, and it got real quiet. And then Victor said Kalishnikova. Like he telling Fred, he gave Fred a head nod. Like, here, go ahead and pick. Fred, you better go ahead and pick these goddamn cases. Pick 3 cases of vodka and let's get on with the get on. He said, go ahead, my friend. He said, pick 3. And now Steve and Jason said, Kalishnikova. I said, oh my God. I was like, Fred, can you hurry up? So Fred picked 3. I said, Fred. And I'm thinking in my mind, this is probably the smartest decisions your dumb ass has ever made in your goddamn life. This is probably the smartest decision your dumb ass has ever made in your life. Pick 3 cases, get these vodkas so we get up out of here. As he picking 3 cases, little did we know, guess who's outside? Guess who's outside? That nigga Casey out there A4 from New Orleans, and he heard the whole thing. This nigga Casey had gold teeth, top and bottoms. I mean, this is the New Orleans nigga. Top and bottom, camos with the goddamn polo boots, right? This nigga comes up. He said, you think I can get some too? He said, hey, Casey, Kalishnikova. Casey. He said, come here, friend. He said, you? He said, the one. Because I didn't offend you, so I really don't owe you nothing. But I'll give you one just to be fair. So they let Casey get one. Now, Casey heard about them choppers, right? You know, New Orleans, Chopper City, Russians. They selling and smuggling guns across the world. Casey said, yeah, I understand about the vodka. Thank you for the vodka. But he said, listen to me, you hear me? He said, what about the AKs? How can I get on there? He said, we're talking about that a little bit later. He said, let me know. We'll exchange contact information and we'll get everything squared away. He said, no worries. For the law. I said, man. So as they all leave, we're all going back to our break. I said, these are Mafia members. But I was curious with Sasha. Looked like his high was coming down and his testosterone was going up. I had to ask Sasha. I said, excuse me, Sasha. He said, good afternoon. He said, how are you? I said, I'm good, Sasha. I'm good. I got a question, though. He said, no problem. He said, ask it away. What's on your mind? I said, not to be in your business, but overall, aren't you, the lifestyle that you live, right? Aren't you worried about snitches? This is what Sasha expressed to me. This is what he brought to my table. I said, Sasha, aren't you worried about the snitches? He said, Kalishnikova. He said, it isn't Michael. He said, we don't worry about snitches. Snitches worried about us. And then he gave me that menacing stare, and I just left him alone. I was like, that's gangster. That's gangster. So little little time went on, and our Russian brothers, they got up out of there. Like he said they weren't here for long. I don't know why they were here. I said, Fred came up to me, why do you think they're here? I said, Fred, I don't give a damn why they're here. As long as they don't use those AKs on us, I don't give a damn why they're here. I don't give a goddamn. You got your 3 cases of vodka. Shut your goddamn mouth and keep it pushing. So after the Russian mafia left, Jack Miller, the supervisor, tried to reclaim his dominance on the department floor, and Lord, did it go bad. Lord, did this go bad. One of the people that been there for a little while, Jacob, he been there for a while. Jacob Black. And Jacob was in the same predicament as Cynthia. You're tallying up all of those occurrences, points. He was tallying them up, running them up. And Jack Miller went back to his old ways, talking about bucking on. He said, we have quotas to meet. He said, you're late again? He said, we just had this conversation. Come on in this office. Come on, get this right up. Because come on. The way he was trying to handle Jacob said, I ain't going a motherfucking place. You understand what I'm saying? Jack Miller said, what did you say to me? He said, look, nigga. He said, you wasn't talking to them Russian niggas when they was up in here. You hoe ass nigga. How the hell you gonna try to handle me when everybody saw how you bitched up when Sasha and Vladimir was up in here? Oh, did the mood change? Oh, I mean, Everybody, I mean, everything that Jacob said was actual facts. Because when Sasha was up here, 6'6", 240 pounds, and they were talking about Automat, Kalishnikova, and vodka and all this stuff, and they tatted up from head to toe, and he didn't say a goddamn thing, right? But he'll throw his own black brother under the bus. I mean, bucking. He said you wasn't talking to Sasha like that, you hoe ass nigga. Then everybody try to calm Jacob. That Jacob said, no, I ain't coming down. I ain't coming down for shit. Jacob had enough. Jacob was turning up. He said, I ain't coming down for shit. This nigga want to pick and choose who he want to pick on. You want to pick on Lil Cynthia, but you wasn't talking to Vladimir, Jacob, and Vladimir, Jason, and Victor. You wasn't talking to them niggas like that. And you ain't gonna talk to me like that, nigga. So fuck you and that occurrence. How about that? Oh Lord, and Jack Miller said, I would not have that on my floor. I would not have this unprofessionalism on my floor. Jacob said, this ain't your floor, bitch. You don't run a motherfucking thing up in here. You don't make no big decisions. That's all. You just a supervisor. That's all you are, and that's all you'll ever be. You best get out my fucking face. Things quickly began to escalate. Jacob dismissed himself. And surprisingly enough, I don't know if was this a revelation. I don't know what was going on. Word got back to me that Jake was crying in his car. Right? I think the realization that he wasted 20 years in this place. Nobody likes him. His wife is gone with another man. He has hit rock bottom. And that was the last time I saw Jacob or Jack Miller. This is a story of how not to let bullies handle you. This is also a story of how it's absolutely necessary that we all take our destiny in our own hands. Oh yeah. 250 Gemstones Culture Stories. I'm gone.